It doesn't record yet.
But I'm saying
10-12 on the battleship Yonets.
another fish on the line.
Oh, I see him jumping. Holy.
Woohoo!
Now you gotta see the feet on this guy.
Victory! Those are scary.
We've been dealing with the easterlies the whole trip out. They're going to be pushing us home. And we'll probably be on a broad reach, maybe a beam reach. And it will be lovely. First time I've realized, sitting here in a mangrove, what a mangrove actually was. And Cuba's loaded with them. They provide really nice shade, especially when it's 35 degrees out, just after noon in the hot Cuban sun. They're gnarly, but we're sure glad that we have the shade from them. Snorkeling this morning, January 3rd. Hadn't snorkeled in a long time because the last time was down in the Bahamas and a riptide tried getting me and I had to swim for my life. But today was much more relaxing. I didn't use fins, but then I didn't really need them. We were just by a reef, lots of fish, lots of different colors, coral. Saw a nice starfish on the bottom. Yeah, very relaxing experience, even though there were several people snorkeling in the same area. Good time was had by Grandpa.
I don't snorkel probably twice per my life. And this I snorkel is nice, and more important is private beach, nobody's laughing from me when I snorkel. It's warm, and enjoy the Christmas and New Year in warm place.
Well, I had found this little hermit crab. It had actually fallen off of a ledge as I was walking on this trail with Mom, and I decided to take him up and keep him as a pet. Yeah. And I had brought him to the beach, trying to get him to uncurl. And as I was holding him, he pinched a chunk of my finger off. It was really painful and it was bleeding a bunch. So I went back to the boat, patched it up, and
No, first you screamed, you threw the crab.
yeah, I screamed and threw the crab, and I went to the boat and got patched up, and then I told Grandpa to destroy him, but everyone else said not to. So Grandpa did something halfway in between. He destroyed the shell and then left the crab to find a new home.
Justice has been served.
Yes, it has.
Yes. Bahia de Cadiz.
Oh, we're at Bahia de Cadiz right now. And where our boat is, there's not much to see. The water's deeper than at this little beach here. So we came to this little beach and...
The king of Bohemia.
Grandpa's got moves.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Jasper's moves.
And we went snorkeling along the rocks over there. And we found so much coral and anemones. And especially in the morning, there's lots and lots of fish. So me and Dad went all the way around the bend on those rocks to the very edge of the island. and we saw some really cool fish. And this one giant stingray with his tail sticking out. It was really beautiful. So when Dad went down, I was scared because I thought it would sting him. But it was so cool. When he swims, he kind of ripples as he floats around.
Dad chased him.
Yeah, Dad chased him and, well, not really chased him, but he wanted to go up close to get a video, and he started swimming away, so Dad followed him. When we were out there were a lot of different species of fish we found. I don't know all their names, but there was this one fish that I only saw one of, but it was super amazing. It's a cuttlefish, and as it swam, it kind of looked like a tadpole, but bigger, and it was kind of thick, like a tube almost. And then his fins, they were so thin and see-through that when he swam, he just kind of glided forward. And that was my favorite fish of all the ones I saw. I find it really fun to go snorkeling, especially around here because there's so many different species of fish. And one of my favorite parts about snorkeling is the fact that when you find an anemone, if you poke it, it'll usually contract and it just looks so fun. It's just so fun to poke anemones. And some of the big ones are kind of sticky and yellowy. Yeah. Also, when I was snorkeling, we were looking at fish and I had the Limon camera with me and I was trying to get a good picture of this fish. So I held on to some coral, but there was something about that coral and it kind of shocked me, but it stung me. So my pinky felt all stingy and bad. That was no fun. I like how there's so nice water here that you can snorkel whenever you want. Even in the morning, it's not like, oh, you're too cold. When the sun comes up, it just warms you and you want to hop right in the water. And the water, it's not very cold either, which is nice.
The other thing I'd like to mention is watching Andre around his own boat. Not just anybody's boat, his boat. Tinkering, fixing things, checking out lines, doing all sorts of stuff, happy as a clam.
And the captain pushing us to the edge.
Yeah, that's right. Pushing us to the edge. Denova does a really nice job sailing into weather. You can sail a lot closer than most other boats. And there's a confidence in it that it's not going anywhere. She heels pretty good and she runs 7.5 knots into weather. It's not the most comfortable, and we were in 3.5 foot waves, but all in all, a pretty good experience for me. However, the first day, I was almost on the verge of seasickness, and the last time I felt like that was on the puke boats in Ucluelet on Vancouver Island, but it was self-induced from a hockey game in the playoffs. The Edmonton Oilers were playing the night before. So all around pretty good. Yeah, handles in weather very well. Don't have to tack very often. Yeah, solid. Very solid.
One of the things that I want to encourage other potential sailors is don't let the seasickness get you down, because when you get to an anchorage and you can get to a private beach and you can get somewhere that tourists on holidays typically can't get to, it becomes worth it.
One of the things I've noticed about cruising in Cuba is there is no cruising in Cuba. We're basically the only ones. Everywhere we've been has been just us. There are no sailboats in sight anywhere. There was one sailboat we saw in the distance as we were coming east, and he was going west back towards Veradero. But everywhere we've been, we are the only people. We saw a local fisher boat. We've seen a supply boat supply the lighthouse in the background here, but that's it. It's just us. So it feels like we're the king of the world, man. It's just us. Very private.
Look at Jasper. Too skinny for anything.
And the Jajos are chilling while the youngins play.
I'm sailing today and catching so many fish, like this is my line. I'm fish catcher. Catch one per 10 years. It's another line for me, huh? They catch two, and I still waiting for mine.
Here we go. I just reeling in a big one. I couldn't bear.
Oh, this one's spicy. Keep reeling. It's gonna be tough now. No, he bit off the fish's tail.
Big man.
My hook. My hook's tail. He bit off my hook's tail.
Jojo.
And then throw him overboard.
Yeah, Jaja, you did it!